Okay, we are going to start now. Okay, sorry for the inconvenience other times that you guys just thought I failed my promise. I don't know, it's my network. So I'm going to do it like this. I'll just record it, then I will share it to you guys. Maybe to YouTube, or I will send it on the Discord server. So the lab I'm going to solve today is just about this one, HTML injection. Then by tomorrow I will solve about the cursor scripting lab. So before you know HTML injection vulnerability, you got to know what HTML is. Then HTML is hyper text markup language. It's just the structures of a web pages, web application. And then we all know CSS also, and there's also JavaScript. And CSS is just about the designing, and JavaScript for the functional. So I'll just go ahead and solve the lab. So HTML injection is just when a attacker is able to inject a malicious HTML into a web page, and the web page or the web application executes the HTML without even validating it or sanitizing it. So I'll just go ahead and solve the first lab. So this one is HTML easy. And guys, I know that the website doesn't give us any guidance, maybe where to look, or maybe when we complete the lab. Just know that the lab, the titles is going to give you the clues of the lab, and also these you are just going to look for how you are going to get a valid HTML injection onto the screen in each lab. So I've explained what HTML is. Hypertext markup language is just the standard markup language for web pages. And HTML injection attacks occurs is a vulnerability which occurs in a web application that allow users to insert HTML code via a specific parameter or entry point. Just know that when you are looking for HTML injection in a web application, just look for two things: parameters, URL parameters, or entry point. If you can see those two criteria, and then if the web application is able to execute web application is able to execute your HTML injection, then it is valid. So I will go ahead and start the first lab. So this is the first lab. First lab is HTML make easy. So guys, my approach in when I'm started maybe looking for vulnerabilities in a web application, my first thing to do is to know what is the web application all about. So as you can see for the first lab in my front, the lab is just about a search functionality. So the web page is all about how we are going to search for things here. So I'll go ahead and search for random things. Let me search for test. You can see that it reflects the word I search for. You can see it reflects the word test. You can see, so that gives us a clue that there could be possible HTML injection vulnerability. Yes, yeah. So if I go ahead and maybe inject, okay, let's go ahead and see how the HTML is structured in our. Let me go to the inspect. So we know how we are going to customize our payload test. You can see it's just inside the p tag, so that we can easily just put our h1 tag in the middle of it. So let me insert our payload h1 mc test html injection. Then the close tag. You can see you have successfully exploited the first lab. So this is it. You have successfully produced the first lab, and able to exploit the vulnerabilities in the web application. This is so if you share the source code, you are going to see how it is structured. You can see. Okay, that's it all, guys. Let's go to the second lab. For the lab 2, the lab 2 is let me store them. So let me open the lab. Just that what we are going to be looking for when we are looking for vulnerability in the web application that is vulnerable to HTML injection, we are going to be looking for entry points and parameters and maybe a reflected input. If our input is reflected, there's a possible HTML injection there. So let me just go ahead and register with a random email. Let me register with test@gmail.com and my password 12345. Click on register. You can see I've successfully registered, and then it gives us option where we can input our first name, last name, email, password. Okay, let me just our first name, let me make it test. Last name account and email test@gmail.com. Password 12345. Let me confirm 12345. Let me register. So let me log in. Test@gmail.com. So I've successfully logged in. Oh shit. It was showing me my previous payload I input there. So let me go ahead and input a HTML tag to check maybe it's vulnerable. Let me update our information. Sorry for this. This is it's showing me my previous payload I input before. I don't know. Okay, let me update my information to, let me use test2. It was showing me because when I solved the lab I used test as example before. Okay, let me test2. Let me update my information. Okay, we have updated. Then let me try our simple HTML1 tags to see maybe it's going to. As you can see, it's not working. So let's go ahead and go to the inspect, and then maybe we are going to check how the HTML is structured in the DOM, and we are going to be able to balance it. Then we are going to execute our payload. This is it here. You can see it's inside the value. So you can see there's an closing tag here. So if we, let's say we close this tag here, instead of writing something inside the value, let's just close it using this and this. Is not closing. You can see our payload is executed. So this is what happened here. So I was able to close the value tag. I use this and close the value tag. That's why you can see our payload, our HTML is sitting balancing, is well structured inside the DOM. You can see H1 tag our payload. So that's it. We solve the lab tools. That's it. Then if I let me just say I go further and input maybe an iframe. So for the iframe also, I'm going to close it. But we have successfully solved the lab 2 also. Let me go to the lab 3. So lab 3 is about file name, file name is vulnerable to HTML injection. So let's start the lab. So we are going to upload file. Let me just upload a random file. Let me upload a random file. I upload a file called HTML. So you can see that the name of the file is reflected here. And I said earlier that if you are looking for HTML injection, you should look for reflected inputs, entry points, and then also parameters. So you can see my file name is reflected here. So this is possible. There's a possible chance for HTML injection here. So I can edit the file name to using a proxy tools, or let me just use the developer tools here. So you can also use the proxy tools here. So if I go to I want to see how the name is structured here. You can see it's just sitting down inside the p tag. There's a possible HTML injection. So I can just edit the HTML here and put maybe h1 tags. Let me just say test account is here, h1 tag. Sorry, I have to put it inside a colon. But let me just fire up my bob suit, so it will be easy there. So waiting for bob suit to fire, let me just go ahead and solve lab 4 also. This one is file content and HTML injection is perfect pairs. So this one also is still the same as the third lab. So this one is just basically still the same functionality. You are going to upload a file also. So let me just go ahead and create a file. Let me just input our payload there. Just use this let me use this let me use this tags marquee h1 test account h1 sorry h1 mark. So let me save it. This is our HTML payload here. So I'm going to this one. I'm going to use. Let me save it as HTML2.html. So I save it as HTML file. So let me upload it into our. Let me upload it into our file. The upload functionality. You can see the web application is vulnerable. So when I upload it, instead of it to be sanitizing it or valid, it doesn't sanitize, it just executes the payload that I save into the file. So that's it. We solve the lab 4 also. You can see. So let me solve lab 5. Let me check if our buff suits are started. Okay, when we are waiting for our buff suits, let me solve lab 5 also. So the lab 5 is about injecting HTML in URL. So I said earlier that to look for HTML injection, you can also look for it in an entry point also. So the URL is vulnerable. So you can see your URL is. So if I just go ahead and add a parameter here and its value. So let me name the parameters. Let me name the parameter test, and the value. Let me add a HTML payload here. Which one? Test. If this is one, H1 stack. So I think my network is kind of slow here. Or is it my PC? Oh. Okay, you can see our payload have execute. So that's it. We solve the lab 5 also. So the web application is not checking the URL parameters. It's not verifying. It's not sanitizing the. Instead of encoding it, it's not sanitizing it or validating it also. So let me go ahead and solve lab 6. Then okay, let me open my Bob suite so I can solve the lab 3 also. So for lab 6, encode it. So as the title, maybe we are going to encode our payload there. So let me start the lab. So the lab also is a search functionality similar to the first lab. So let me input our basic payload there. Maybe it's going to run. Test if this is one. Oh, is not. Okay, let me check expect. I think this lapses is sanitizing user input. So it's just you can see it's sanitizing user input here. So let's just go ahead and use URL encode to bypass it. So there's a site where we can encode our word to the site where we can encode our word to URL encode. So Let me input our payload here. Let me type a simple payload here. Okay, let me use this payload. So we should URL encode it. Okay, the site encode it for us. Then let's copy our payload into the search functionality. Maybe it's going to execute it. Boom, we solved this one also. So we were able to bypass it using URL encoding. So that's it, we solve the lab 6 also. Okay, let me go ahead and solve the lab 3, then we are done. And maybe by tomorrow I'm going to show you how I able to solve all the course scripting lab also. I don't know why my system is hanging now. My system is hanging. This is the lab 3. Let me turn on my focus so I can see my requests. Don't know why my bulb is taking so long. Why are you taking so long, Bob? This is the lab 3. Okay, and I can use this payload for solving lab 3. So why is my bulb taking so long? I think I've opened too much software. I'm running something else. Oh, instead I suppose I'll fire Kaido then. Let's just wait for my bulb to fire up. Let me cancel it and start it again. Okay, sorry for that. Okay, our bulb is successfully fire up. I don't know why it's taking so long like that. So okay, let me show maybe it's boxing very well. I've turned on my let me turn on my pump fox. Okay, cool, it's boxing it. So let me upload the file again. Then we're able to upload the file name in our bob suite easily. Let me upload this file. Then using my intercept. intercept the request before sending it to the server. Upload. Okay, this is the request. This is a post request, that is, you are sending information to the server. So this is your you can see this is the file name here. You can see you can easily clear the file name, or maybe just paste our payload by the side. Let me just clear all the file name and paste our payload here. So we get 200. Okay, let me see the render. Okay, our payload is successful. Let me check how it's structured here. Wait, let's just wait for, I don't know why this one logged me out here again, but let's just wait for it here, because let me send the request again. I don't know why it's taking so long to render. Just want to confirm it here in our Bob render. Maybe okay, it's not executing it. What could be the problem? Oh, never mind. Yes. Okay, alright. Oh, let me check how it's structured. Oh, sorry. Okay. I don't know why the application is not. Okay, I didn't structure it well. Just let me see what is the issue here. Coming. I think the app is not even accepting some. I think it's not even accepting some payload. We can try different payload. Let me just try only H1. Okay, cool. You can see we successfully exploit the lab. So that is it all, guys. And guys, don't mind my English. I'm not a native English speaker. I just so that is by tomorrow I'll just be able to show you how I um solve cross-site scripting lab. And also, guys, make your report. Make your report also, and screenshot your POC. Screenshot it also. Screenshot it. So that's it, guys. So I will share it. I will also you can see some of my screenshots, how I screenshot my own, so you can use it for POCs, stuff like that. So thank you, guys. That is it. So I will share the cross-site scripting video by tomorrow also, by the God, inshallah. So I wish you guys success, and make sure we complete the internship.